Where are you seeing opportunities with good moats to build an AI? So I think, so this question is referencing when you start a company, you generally want to have a moat. This is something that protects your business and allows you to sustain it without competitors being able to come in and eat your lunch, basically. I think the moats have disappeared when it comes to building because anyone now can build a prototype very quickly using vibe coding and potentially use that to a catch or use it as proof of concept, get an engineering team on board and then go from there. So I think the moat for building is drying up and it's almost gone. I think the moat now comes from distribution. So Greg Eisenberg talks about this a lot on Twitter and LinkedIn. The world is flipping. So it used to be about it's only the people who can build technically who will be able to grow companies. So it's always, if you went to an entrepreneurship event or a networking event, everyone was looking for a technical co-founder. That's not going to be the case anymore because we can now put together minimum viability products very quickly using coding tools. And these tools are going to get better and better and better. So the moat is no longer building, it's no longer having the best engineers, it's no longer having the best products necessarily. Instead, it's going to be about distribution. It's about being able to get attention. Because if you go to one of the AI tool directories, there's lots of them out there, they're great. Most of the tools in there, a couple of users that have one review and they've been abandoned because it's so easy and fast to throw up a project in a week, a weekend, if you're fast, get it out the door. But because it's so easy, so many people are doing it, which means there's a lot of competition. And these people haven't necessarily thought about distribution and how you get it into the hands of people. So I think the moat now is audience. The moat is having a group of people who you know are going to be your customers. And it's all about distribution and being able to get your product out to people. That's what really matters right now. There's a guy called Yoni. Yoni will do it. Yoniman.mp4 on Instagram. And I'm sure he's on TikTok, etc. He's done a really great job here. He's got 175,000 followers on, put it up on my screen, 175,000 followers. You can see that? There we go. On Instagram. And he's just a really good example of somebody who has thought about distribution first. So he has done a series of videos. He's on day 412. So he's done a video every single day, documenting his journey to build something. And he didn't actually build anything until build and release something until relatively recently. He has an application called Moat, which is doing really well because she nailed distribution first and then worried about what exactly it was that he was going to be building. So I think this is the moat nowadays. The moat is not building. The moat is distribution. So someone like Yoni is a great example of a person who nailed that. He used build in public as a way to do that so that when what he had built was ready, he could release it into the world and he knew he'd have that initial momentum to get it vending, get it through the top of Product Hunt, to get it moving on the App Store, etc., so that it can then go wider. If you don't build that beforehand, then when you release, it's going to be crickets. Just because you built something amazing doesn't matter if nobody knows about it. It's not a field of dreams, build it and they will come. So I'd have a look at that if you are looking to build a moat. So it's not about building, it's not about engineering, it's about distribution nowadays. Yeah. Amel is saying the same thing. Marketing and branding is a superpower. So it's marketing and branding now, which is becoming more and more important because it's becoming easier and the barriers to entry to building are decreasing, which means there's an oversupply. It means you need different ways to differentiate, and it's not about product quality. It says, I think moats would be having your own deep proprietary data and solving problems with complex workflows. Yes, exactly. So previously the question was, what kind of moat can you build around an AI business, an AI startup, an AI tool to keep competition out? And having deep data is really valuable. And that's exactly the playbook that someone like Mark Zuckerberg is using with their own AI models. Their moat comes from that data that they've been building for the last decade through Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, having data no one else has access to makes for a very valuable resource when you are building artificial intelligence models or you're building tools that use that information. It's also one of the limitations of going into businesses and doing any form of consultation or advisory is that businesses need to have this data. They need significant amounts of data if they want to build their own AI tools, if they want to build their own large language models. It requires having huge amounts of information. That information needs to be well sorted. It can't just be a bunch of Excel files on people's desktops, etc. It needs to be in a central repository so we can use that to train models. And that's often where a lot of businesses fall down, and therefore we can't deploy good AI products to them because the data they've given us is. So that's also a good opportunity to go into businesses and help them sort out their data. This is the data scientist's job, really, in order to prepare them for AI.